Good morning, students, and once again welcome to our 6th class English 2 classes. In the last session we have completed our 4th chapter, that was a poem. Okay, that poem is a memorizing poem and I have already told to learn that poem. So I guess you people have started learning the poem. Okay, and the question answers also I had told that it will be uploaded on the website, so it is still there. If somebody has not written the answers, you can still go there and download the question answers and complete the work in the copy. All the word meanings and question answers you have to complete it in your classwork copy. Whatever lessons I have taught before, that question answers and word meanings you have to write in the copy. Okay, and keep on learning all those lessons whatever is taught before, because all these chapters will come in the first semester. Okay, so today we'll start the 5th chapter. The name of the chapter is the apricot tree. Okay, the lesson is written by M.S. Mahadevan. Okay, in this story we will see that a small boy of 11 years old, he is remembering his village. Okay, he is remembering his village where he used to live, but due to attack from the enemies, they had to leave the village. Okay, so from last 1 year this boy the boy had been living in a camp to some other place. Okay, the boy had been living in a camp with his family in some other place. Okay, so the boy is remembering his village, that how he had to leave the village because of the bombardment. Okay, the enemies, they started attacking, they have started throwing bombs on the village, so they had to leave the village, they had to leave their village. And here in this lesson we'll see that how this small boy, he is telling his whole journey from his village to the camp. Okay, how he has left his village, what all difficulties they had to face, that is given in the lesson. So here we'll see that in the beginning that he is remembering that how it all started. Okay, that was the time when his father and his elder brother, they were leaving for the mountains because they were villagers, they had animals to feed. Okay, so his father with his elder brother, they were about to go on the mountains. They were taking their flocks so that the flocks can graze on the mountain. Okay, and he requested his father to take along with him, but his father said that he had to go to school and he is also very small now, so he had to stay at home because there is his mother is there and the younger sister, so he has to take care of them and also he has to go to school. Okay, so he didn't like that his elder brother is going with his father, so he was envied with his brother, he was little jealous of his brother. And then what happens afterwards, that we will see in the story. Okay, so now I will switch on to the screen so that you can see the chapter. I hope you people must have received your books. So if you have got your book, you can take out page 35, lesson 5, the apricot tree. Okay, so from there, when I will read, you can see in the book, and if you haven't received your book yet, you can see on the screen here, I will show the chapter here. Okay, now I hope you can see the lesson on your screen, the lesson number 5, that is the apricot tree. The lesson number 5, that is apricot tree, and here you can see some pictures are given. Okay, look at these images depicting scenes of war. Okay, what happens when the war is there. You can see bombardment is there. People had to leave their places. They had to go to some other places, leaving their own home. Many times people, they don't like to leave their home because they love their place, but unfortunately they have to leave their places. So you can imagine how a person feels while leaving his own home to go to some other place because of their safety. Okay, now let's read a story about a young child whose family and village are caught in a bombardment by enemy shells and how they cope with the situation. Okay, so here is a story about a young child, okay, about a young boy. The boy's age is about 11 years old, and his family, they had to leave the place because the village was under attack. Okay, the village was under attack. They were caught in bombardment. Bombardment means continuous attack with bombs. Okay, they were continuous attack. Enemies were throwing bombs on the village. Continuously they were attacking, okay, by enemy shells. Okay, enemy shells means bomb only. Okay, and how they cope with the situation. Here we'll see how they adjust. Cope means to adjust. How they adjust themselves in this situation. That is about the lesson. I have, okay, now I will read the lesson, okay, then I'll explain. Okay, paragraph wise I'll read and then I'll explain. I have lived in the camp for close a year now. Okay, I have lived in the camp for close to a year now. When I remember my old home, somehow I love it more than I ever did. It was spring when we left, and the barren, grey mountains were slowly turning green. The apricot tree which my grandfather had planted as a young man was heavy with ripening fruit. Okay, so we have seen the lesson name is the apricot tree. Okay, do you know what is apricot? Apricot is a kind of fruit. Okay, have you seen apricot? Okay, it's a little sweet and sour taste it has. I'll show the picture. Okay, this is apricot. Okay, it is a little greenish. When it gets ripe, it is pinkish color, pinkish yellow. Okay, this is apricot. Okay, so the lesson name is here the apricot tree because there was an apricot tree in the boy's home. Okay, and we'll see why this tree name is given as the lesson. When we'll read the full story, we'll find out. Okay, so the boy, the 11-year boy, he is narrating the story. Okay, the story is told by the 11-year-old boy. So he says that I have lived in the camp for close to a year now. So he is saying that from last 1 year he had been living in a camp. Okay, for close a year now, means it is going to almost complete 1 year he had been living in the camp. When I remember my old home, somehow I love it more than ever did. And whenever he remembers his home, he loves it a lot. Okay, more than he ever loved, means when he was loving that time he never thought about it, but now while remembering his home he loves it a lot. And he says that it was spring when we left. Okay, the time when they left their home, that time it was spring. Okay, spring, you know what is spring? Spring is a season. Okay, spring season comes after summer and before winter. Okay, so that was the time when they left their home. And the barren, you know what is the meaning of barren? What is the meaning of barren? Yes, okay, barren means dry, where nothing grows. Okay, it's given here, dry, where nothing grows. Okay, so he says the grey mountains, during that time, before that the mountains were barren, means nothing was there on the mountain, no grass, no trees. And now that time, and the barren green mountains were slowly turning green. Okay, so that when they left their village, that time it started to grow slowly. Okay, the mountains, on the mountains, the plants and grass, they had started growing slowly. Okay, the mountains were turning green. Okay, before that it was barren, everywhere dry places were there, but the time when they left, it had started growing green. Okay, and the apricot tree, okay, the apricot tree which was planted by his grandfather, okay, who had planted that apricot tree? The boy's grandfather. Okay, he had planted when he was a young man. Okay, had planted a young man when his grandfather was a young man. That time he had planted that apricot tree, and the time when they left the village, that time the tree had already bore so many fruits on that, and it was started ripening fruit. Okay, and the tree was laden with the ripening fruit. It was heavy with the ripening fruit. Okay, so the fruits, they had started turning ripe. Okay, so it was loaded with the fruits, ripening fruits on the apricot tree. Abba and Usman were making last minute arrangements before taking our flock to the high pastures. I begged to go along with them. Not this year, Abba had said firmly. In a kinder voice, he had added, maybe next summer. Okay, now he's telling that Abba means his father. Okay, his father, and Usman is the name of his elder brother. Okay, so they were about to go on the mountains, so they were making last minute arrangements. Okay, they were about to go to move, and some or the other arrangements were still there, so they were busy in that. Okay, before taking our flock to the high pastures. Flock, you know what is flock? What is flock? It's a which kind of noun? Yes, it is a collective noun, and flock means a collection, a group of sheep. I'll show the picture. Yes, you can see here, it's a flock. Okay, the flock is on the mountains for grazing the grass. Okay, so the narrator is the small boy, 11-year-old boy. He's saying that his father and elder brother, they were ready to go on the mountains. They were ready to take their flock to the high pastures. Pastures means that is given here, land covered with grass and other plants suitable for grazing animals. Okay, the land which is covered with grass and other plants that is suitable for the animals, so for grazing animals. Okay, so this Usman, his elder brother, and his father, they were ready to go on the mountains for the pastures, because they were taking their flock there so that they can eat the grass properly. I begged to go along with them, and he is saying that he begged. Begged means, what is the meaning of begged? Begged means requested. Yes, so he requested his father that he wanted to go with them. Then what did his father reply? His father replied, not this year. His father said, not this year, maybe next time. Abba had said firmly. Firmly means very in a firm voice. He said, no, not this year. In a kinder voice, he had added. Okay, with a gentle voice, in a kinder voice, he said again, he added, he replied that maybe next summer. He told that maybe next year, in the next summer time, he will take him to the pastures on the mountain. Okay, I'll turn the next page. Yes, Usman was 15. I was 11. It seemed like I would have to wait forever to be as old as him. Meanwhile, there was school to attend and Ammi and Habiba to look after. Now here he is telling his age and his brother's age. So here we come to know that his brother was 15 years old and he was 11 years old. And he says that it looked like that he can never grow old as his brother, because he's saying that he had to wait forever, means for all his life he had to wait for to be just like his brother, because when he'll be 15 years old, his brother will be more big, 18 years old, okay, like that, or he will be also growing, so he cannot reach at the age of his brother. And at the same time he says that there was school to attend, and at the same time he has to go to school also. So he was feeling very bad that his brother is there, so always his father is taking to his brother only, and he has to go to attend the school. And one more thing, and he had to take care of his Ammi and Habiba. Okay, Habiba is his sister's name, Ammi means his mother. Okay, so he says that at the same time there was school that he had to attend, and he had to take care of his mother as well as his younger sister Habiba. They are your responsibility, Abba had said proudly. And his father also said in a proud manner, he said that they are his responsibility. They means who? They means his mother and Habiba. They are his responsibility, means he has to take care of them. Usman, securing bags of barley flour, salt and dried meat, put them onto a mule's back, had given me a sympathetic smile. I envied him the days of adventure and freedom that lay ahead. While I would be in school cramming useless stuff like tables and grammar, he would be out in the mountains, fishing in the streams, sleeping under the stars. I watched them go till the flock was just a cloud of dust in the distance, and the barking of dogs an echo in my head. Now here he is saying that he could see his brother Usman securing bags of barley flour. Okay, securing means, what is the meaning of securing? Securing means tied tightly. Okay, so he was packing all the bags because they need to eat also, so he was packing all this barley flour. Okay, barley, it's a kind of crop, okay, that is grinded into a flour to make some chapati or something. Then he was packing salt and then dried meat, and okay, so he was keeping all these things on the mule's back. What is mule? Mule is a kind of animal, just like it's a breed of this horse and donkey. Okay, it's a mixture hybrid of horse and donkey. Okay, so and this mule is used for carrying luggage from one place to another place. Okay, so he was carrying packing all these bags, and he was putting them, tying them on the mule's back. And while doing this, Usman had given a sympathetic smile. Okay, he was smiling at narrator in a sympathetic way, means he was showing that he is very happy and the boy is not able to go on the mountains. So he was showing his sympathy for the narrator that he was unable to go with them. I envied him the days of adventure and freedom that lay ahead. Envied means wanted what the other person had, means he also wanted to enjoy like his brother Usman, whatever adventures and freedom he will enjoy there on the mountain, because going on the mountain he doesn't have to study, he doesn't have to do the work like the narrator will do staying at home. So he was feeling little jealous with his brother, because he can enjoy the adventure on the mountains and he would be free from everything whatever is there. So he was feeling little jealous with his brother. While I would be in school cramming useless stuffs like tables and grammar, he would be out in the mountains, fishing in the streams, sleeping under the stars. I watched them go till the flock was just a cloud of dust in the distance, and the barking of dogs an echo in my head. Okay, so while he says that while he would be busy in the school cramming means study intensively. Okay, so by the time he would be studying in the school, learning very thoroughly all this useless stuffs. According to him, the learning tables and grammar, that was useless, because his brother could enjoy on the mountain, so he felt all these things useless. Okay, and at the same time his brother would be free. Where he would be free? On the mountains. Okay, he would be free on the mountains, and he would be fishing in the streams. Okay, in the small streams he could go and fish, he could catch fish, he can sleep under the stars. So he would be free from everything, he can do whatever he can feel like. But what he had to do, he had to learn the tables and grammar and so many useless things in the school. And while his brother and father, they were going, he was standing there, that how when they were going, so he was standing there and watching them go away on the mountains, till the flock had become just like a cloud of dust in the distance. Okay, cloud of dust means a small dot in the sky. Okay, and the barking of dogs, an echo in my head. So he was standing for long time watching his father and brother and the flock to go on the mountains. So, okay, for a long time he stood there only, till the flock had become a small dot in the far distance place. Okay, until the dogs echo. Okay, when farmers and the shepherds, they take their sheep or flock on the mountains, they keep dogs also with them. Okay, so that the dogs may protect them from other wild animals. So he was standing there and he was listening the dogs bark also, till that dog's bark had become an echo in his head. Okay, he could hear their echo in his mind. He was standing there only. Four days later, the first shell landed on our village. It came across the ridge and shattered the police jockey. The third period had just begun. Our teacher Sadiq Ali was at the blackboard when there was a loud, dull boom. The wall shook. The blackboard toppled off its stand. Sadiq Ali's spectacles fell off his nose. The rest of us looked at each other in astonishment. Before Sadiq Ali could stop us, we ran out of the school and up the road to the village square. We had barely crossed the grocery shop when another shell landed on it. When the dust settled, we saw that one wall had a big hole. Through it we could see the owner covering behind a sack. He was covered from head to toe with its contents flow. Okay. So now till now we had seen that his father and elder brother, they had left for the mountains. They took their flock to the mountains. After this, okay, after 4 days, what happened? The first shell landed on their village. Okay, now the bombardment started. Okay, the enemy had attacked, so the first bomb fell on the village. Okay, and from where it came across the ridge and shattered the police jockey. Okay, it came just across the ridge. What is the ridge? Ridge means a long narrow hilltop. Okay, a long narrow hilltop. When you must have seen, when mountains are there, mountains side by side, 3-4 mountains will be there. Okay, a row is there. Okay, so the bomb came just across this ridge, and what happened? It fell on the police jockey, and the police jockey was fully destroyed, shattered, fully broken, destroyed. The third period had just begun, and it was their third period. The boy was in the school, the narrator was in the school, and their third period had just started, and the teacher's name is here Sadiq Ali. Okay, he was on the blackboard when there was a loud dull boom. Okay, he was teaching something on the blackboard and suddenly they heard a loud boom, and what happened, the wall shook, the wall started shaking, the blackboard toppled off its stand, and the blackboard, it fell down from its stand. It was not like we have blackboards in our school, fixed one, but they had a stand, wooden stand, on that there was a blackboard. You must have seen when in our school also during the this basketball competition time, a blackboard is set in the court. Okay, there is a wooden frame, on that blackboard is kept. Okay, so the blackboard toppled down from there. What is the meaning of toppled? That means fell down. Okay, so because of that shaking, the blackboard fell down from the stand, and Sadiq Ali's spectacles fell off his nose, and the teacher's spectacles fell from his nose. And the boys, those was there studying in the class, they looked at each other in astonishment. Astonishment means wonder. Okay, they were surprised, they were wondering that what had happened. Before the teacher Sadiq Ali could stop them, what they did, they ran away out of the school, and until they reached the village square, they did not stop. Okay, they continued running. As they heard the sound, they came out from the school and they started running to the village square. Okay, village square, that is the center of the village. They had barely crossed the grocery shop. Okay, they had hardly crossed the grocery shop, then another shell landed. Then that same time another bomb fell on the grocery shop, this time on the grocery shop. And when the dust settled, so when bomb fell on the ground, there was a dust scattered everywhere, nothing could be seen. And when the dust settled down and when everything was clear, then they could see there was a big hole in the wall. They could see there was a big hole in the wall, and through the hole they could see that the owner, the shopkeeper, he was cowering. Okay, what is the meaning of cowering? He was bending and hiding down in fear. Okay, he bent down himself and he was trying to hide himself behind what? Behind a sack. Okay, sack is a jute bag or something. Okay, he was covered from head to toe with its contents floor, and his full body was covered with the floor what was there in the sack. Okay. The bombardment continued for another hour. 6 shells hit our village. Several more fell on the highway and the river beyond. A giant spray of water splashed every time a shell landed in the river. Okay. So the narrator, the boy, says that the bombardment, the throwing of the bombs, that continued for how many hours? For another hour also. For the next hour also it continued. And how many bombs fell on the village? There were 6 bombs. Okay, 6 bombs fell on the village, and several more fell on the highway and the river beyond, and some more. Not only 6 bombs, but more fell on the highway. Okay, on the main road and up across the river also. And whenever the bomb fell on the river, there was a giant spray of water. Okay, there was a big splash. Okay, the water of the river water, that was splashed everywhere. In the late afternoon, a jeep roared up into the village square. A man got up on top of the bonnet and yelled through a loudspeaker, "You are informed that this village is under attack by the enemy." As if we did not know that already. This is a war zone. For your own safety, you must evacuate your homes. Okay. Now in the late afternoon, okay, this bombardment started at what time? It was morning time, okay, because the boy says that was third period, so maybe in the morning, it was definitely the morning only. So in the afternoon, during the late afternoon, after the noon time, a jeep rode, okay, a jeep came with a full loud noise into the village. A jeep came there, and a man, he came out from the jeep, and he stood on the top of the bonnet. Bonnet means the front of the jeep or car, okay, front area, okay. So he stood up there and yelled. Yelled means said in a loud voice, okay. So he started saying something through a loudspeaker in a loud voice, and he says that you are informed that this village is under attack by the enemy. He is saying that he is informing that the village is under attack, means it is under coming the attack of the enemy, okay. So, and here the narrator is writing in the bracket that as if we did not know that already, and he is making fun of that, and he says that the person says like this, that you are informed that this village is under attack, that it looked like that the people of the village, they did not know till now. Already they knew that when bombs started falling on the village, so they knew that they were attacked by the enemies. So it was funny that the person was saying like this. This is a war zone. For your own safety, you must evacuate your homes. So the man told that the village has become the war zone. So for their safety, they have to evacuate their homes. Evacuate means empty out or leave a place. Empty out or leave a place with necessary belongings. Okay. So now also you have seen, due to this lockdown, everything is closed. All the factories and the shops, everything is closed. So what is happening now? The workers, those who are working in those factories, because everything is locked down, no work is there, so they are evacuating their home. They are leaving their places and they are going back to their homes. Okay. So but here they had to leave their home and they had to go to some other safe places. Okay. Okay. Take only the bare essentials. Go to the camp at Dras. Make sure that all women and children leave the area. He jumped off, got into the jeep and rode off in the direction of the next village. Okay. Now the person said that take only the bare essentials. Okay. Essentials means things. Okay. Bare essential means only the necessary things. He told the people that they should take only the necessary things with them, like food items and other necessary things. And where they have to go? They had to go to the camp at Dras. Okay, Dras is the name of a place. So they had to leave their home and they had to go to the camps in Dras. Make sure that all women and children leave the area. And he also added that they have to make sure that all women and all the children, they should leave this place. And then he jumped again from the bonnet, and then he got into the jeep and rode off, means again with making a lot of noise. He went to the another direction, and that was to the next village. Our neighbors, old Suleiman and Amina, refused to leave. Chacha was 95 years old. Never. I can't leave my animals behind, he said angrily. Who will feed them? And now here the narrator is saying that his neighbors, he had a neighbor named Suleiman and Amina, they refused, means they were not ready to go to the camp. They were not ready to leave their home. Okay. And Chacha means his neighbor Suleiman. He was how many years old? He was 95 years old. Okay. He was 95 years old and he told that never, means he is saying that no, I cannot leave my home. I can't leave my animals behind. He said that he cannot leave his animals alone there, because who will feed them? He says that he gives the reason that if he leave his animals there and go to the camp, then who will be there to give food to the animals? So he was angry and he is saying that no, he will not leave to his village and go to the Dras, to the camp. Fine. Then if you are not going, neither am I, Chachi said emphatically. Okay. Then Chachi means Suleiman's wife Amina, said emphatically. Emphatically means forcefully. Okay. So she says that fine then, means if Chacha is not ready to go, then she is also saying that she will also not go. Don't be stubborn, Ammi pleaded. This is a matter of life and death. Death come along with us. Okay. Don't be stubborn. Stubborn means rigid. Okay. Rigid means not to change the decision. Okay. So Ammi pleaded. Now narrator's mother pleaded. Pleaded means begged, requested. Okay. Now Ammi, narrator's mother, requested them that don't be so stubborn. Okay. Don't be so rigid on their decision. They should change their decision. This is a matter of life and death, and she said that it's a matter of their life and death, because if they stay there they may die. So if they want to live, they have to leave the place. And she begged them that they should come with them. You go, Beti, Chachi said. Your children are small. When Arshad, Mia and Usman come home, we will tell them where you have gone. We will take care of your animals too. Then the lady Chachi, she is saying to a narrator's mother that you go, Beti, means she is saying, requesting them that they should go, and because her children are very small. And when Arshad Mia means the narrator's father. Okay, when he and Usman, his elder brother, will come, they will tell them that where they have gone, means because they are going to the camp, and in between his father and Usman would come, they would not find them, then they will surprise where they have gone. So she told them that you people go, and when Arshad and Usman, they will come back home, they will inform them that they had gone to the camp. And she also added that they will take care of their animals too. They will take care of their animals also. Ammi was unhappy about leaving them behind. But what could she do? There was hardly any time. The villagers had begun to leave. Their belongings, pots, pans and bags of rations, piled on mule backs or on their own heads. Take your books, school books, Ammi said. I was hoping that she would forget, but I knew better than to argue. She let Habiba take her favorite doll and a new pair of shoes. Ammi left a letter for Abba. Okay, so this way, Chacha and Chachi, that means this old man Suleiman and Amina, they refused to go with them, and because of that, Ammi, his mother, was not happy. Okay, she was unhappy that they had to leave them behind there in the village. But they cannot do anything because there was hardly any time left. They have no time to sit and talk for that. Okay, and because the villagers, they had started going for the camp, they have started taking their things and started moving, and they were taking their belongings, pots, pans and bags of rations. Okay, whatever eatable they can carry, they were taking along with them. Piled on mule back. Okay, mule already I have told that it's a hybrid animal, hybrid of donkey and this horse. Okay, so they have kept their bags and sacks, everything on the mule's back, piled up there, and some of them, they were keeping all these things on their heads, and they started moving. Then Ammi, she told to the narrator to take his books with him, and the narrator was little happy that now they are going. So Ammi would forget about the books, but she remembered that, and she told to take the books with him. But there was no use of arguing with her, because he knew that he cannot argue for that to her, to his mother. So without any argument, he took his books with him. She let Habiba take her favorite doll and a new pair of shoes, and she also gave permission to Habiba, to her little sister, that she can take her favorite doll with her and her new pair of shoes also. Then they left. Ammi left a letter for Abba, and she also wrote a letter for his father. She wrote a letter and she kept it there. We joined the straggly line heading for the town. The narrow road was chock full of army trucks loaded with soldiers in the fields next to the river. Men were scurrying about, carrying boxes of ammunition, pitching tents and setting up high guns. We made slow progress. Habiba started to complain her new shoes were pinching. She wanted to take them off and throw them away. Ammi picked her up and carried her by sunset. By sunset, we had covered only 3 kilometers. Okay. Now they took all their belongings, necessary things, and they joined the straggly line. What is straggly means? Straggly means an untidy line, not organized or straight. Okay, untidy line means not a very straight line, means people started moving in a line, but the line was not a very tidy or organized straight line. Okay, so people started moving, so they also joined this line. And the narrow road was chock full, and there was a narrow road. The road was full of chock full. Chock full means filled to overflowing, means because everybody was moving, and the road was crowded, chock full of army trucks loaded with soldiers. And there were soldiers also on the trucks. They were coming there because enemies were attacking. So the army trucks were full of army trucks came there with the soldiers on the roads there. So it was all crowded. And the fields next to the river, men were scurrying about carrying boxes. Okay, scurrying means move with short, quick steps. Okay, and there were people, there were soldiers beside the river. They were carrying boxes of ammunition. Ammunition means bullets and guns, powders. Okay, whatever they needed, they were carrying all these boxes, and they were busy working there because they were pitching tents. Okay, they were making tents so that they can stay there. They were setting up big guns, okay, cannons and everything. They were busy arranging all these things, and they were moving slowly. The narrator, along with his mother and sister, they were moving. They made a slow progress. They were moving slowly. After some time, his sister Habiba, she started complaining that her new shoes were pinching. Okay, this happened with us also when we wear new shoes for a long time and we walk. So it starts pinching. It gives pain also. Okay, so she started complaining that her new shoes are pinching, and she wanted to remove and throw it off. Then her mother, she picked her up. She picked her sister and she carried with her. And by sunset, by the evening, they had covered only 3 kilometers. Okay, so only 3 kilometers by the sunset they covered. Okay, so for today we'll study till here only, and your homework is read the lesson again. Okay, if you read again, then only you will understand. Okay, read again, and whatever words you find difficult, you can underline it and find its meaning from your dictionary.